I don't think there is actually one person in this house that doesn't want houses to be built for sociable and affordable houses for people, for the different generations, so they can start off their lives. But what I have distinctly against the LDA, the way it is set up at the moment, it only caters for populations of 30,000 and more. I'm elected in Limerick County, and there isn't one town in Limerick County that would have 30,000 people living there. So as I welcome any houses that would come to Limerick and to Limerick City, Limerick is as a whole should be treated like one. And what I see from the land development agencies is they're only delivering for cities. Governments and successive governments, going back up to 33 years now, have been promising that they would invest in the infrastructure in County Limerick. I have said this on more than one occasion, where infrastructure and storage systems and adequate water is waiting for investment, has been promised by minister after minister after minister, and every election that comes our way, they are promising that they're going to put funding into infrastructure. Askeaton is one example that is 33 years waiting for a storage system and upgrade. Drumculloher is another one. Hospital is another one. And when there was a report done during the year, it showed the biggest polluter in Ireland is the local authority, because of the lack of infrastructure and raw storage being put into the waterways around Ireland. Minister, I do believe that you're plenty capable in the job that you're in. I have good faith in you. But what this does not deliver, it does not deliver for the people outside of 30,000 population. It does not deliver for the people of County Limerick. And you've been in governments, and your party's been in governments going back for decades, and you still haven't delivered on the promises that were made by Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael through all the elections in putting in infrastructure and giving equality not only to the people in the cities, but to the people in the towns and villages and the rural areas. And what that would mean for the people in the rural area, it would mean that people could live in the local areas, whether they be in the town, in the village, or the rural areas, and they would support locally. That then we would have our own infrastructure, and it would support businesses coming to our areas to support locally. On a business model, how can you expect anyone to open a business on an area where they're told that there is a cap? You have what you have now. We're going to look at your infrastructure at the moment. We're going to, what infrastructure you have, we're going to upgrade it. It won't mean that you have extra houses, but we're going to upgrade it that it doesn't pollute the areas as much. Any business person will tell you that if you want to get people into your area, if you want to support the people in your area and the businesses to grow, to support the local area around you, you have to have basic infrastructure. Limerick has been crying out for infrastructure to be invested for 30 and 40 years, and it has failed government. The 2030 group was set up, which I was on the board myself before I got elected here, and now my brother John is on it. And they are executive from Limerick City and County Council. They have local area councils from around County Limerick and City are on that, and they are trying to deliver for the people of Limerick City and County. Unless the likes of the LDA work with the likes of the local authorities and the 2030, Limerick County is not going to get any investment. Traditionally, and I've said it, TDs have promised. But now we know that even with this LDA, that still you're not going to invest in our areas. If you look at people now as well, and we go to 2040, people that want to build their own houses, put in their own infrastructure, septic tanks and water supply, you vote against amendments for that as well. So you're not even allowing people build themselves in their own areas. put in their own infrastructure to support our own areas. But this bill needs to make sure that the number goes down to at least 1,500 in the LDA to ensure that it covers city and county. It's called equality. Not everyone wants to live in the city. I'm a Colchian, I'm proud of it. And that's where I grew up. That's where I support. And I support locally. And the other thing I have, Minister, I've been listening to people talking about developers and contractors. I'm a building contractor all my life. I'm in the building since I'm 15 years of age, and I've seen all the different segments of building and how hard it is to look at jobs. 40 euros a square foot. Price of houses have gone up in the last 12 months. Yes, it's a global issue, but there's parts of your government could have helped this in the felling licenses, easing restrictions at the port so we can get in material and stop from extra costs. 40 euros a square foot has been added to the price of a house. And then you talk about sociable and affordable houses. That means now that the price of your sites, which normally with a housing estate would cost roughly 17,000 per service unit, has now jumped to about 27,000 a service unit. So there's nothing affordable about that. But Minister, I would ask you, and I would to look at the counties. I would ask you to look at dropping from 30,000 down to 1,500 to make sure towns in the areas would at least be serviced and houses would be built in the rural areas so everyone would have equality and everyone could have looking at source of affordable houses, because the councils in our area at the moment cannot build the houses at the moment. They need contractors to do it. And the contractors are not there. So we need the help, but we also need investment in infrastructure.
Thank you very much, Deputy O'Donoghue. Deputy Paul